high school, middle school, I wouldn't be caught dead in a thrift store. Like I was that wasn't my mindset. It wasn't,
Yeah.
I was all about needing to look a certain way and to dress a certain way.
I just finished this interview with Taylor Barber, also known as Twigs and Tay, and in this talk we talk about why people find their identity in other people, why thrifting enables you to find your own identity, and also what to do when you feel insecure. I really enjoyed this talk. We also talk about the giveaway that she's doing. The winner will be announced on Wednesday, so it's fun. So if you want to check out the timestamps below, click on the questions you want to hear answers to, leave a comment, I'll reply, share it if you find it valuable for someone else that you know, and I appreciate you watching and listening to Millennials in Ministry. Well, I'm really excited about this interview with Taylor because the reason why I wanted to have her on is because she's so unique in that she really loves the Lord, and she has a very deep desire to reach people for Christ, but also she has incredible fashion sense and she's incredibly fashionable. And I just thought it'd be really cool to hear her story about Twigs and Tay and get a little bit of her insight as to how God has used that to help her, find her identity in Christ in a new way. So, Taylor, for those of people who are watching that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about you and why you call yourself Twigs and Tay.
Such a crazy question because people ask me that all the time. They're like, where did
I think it's not your name.
They're like, where did you even get that from? Honestly, God's just been teaching me process and how your life is just going through a process of getting to know him, getting to know who you are and who you're really created to be. And I just remember, like, I woke up one night, like in the middle of the night, and I kept having dreams about trees, and I kept seeing like branches fall off the tree. And I woke up and I just felt like God was speaking to me about how the tree was me, and all these different pieces or like twigs, branches were falling off the tree, that was still me, even though it was something that he was taking off and shedding. It was the process of going through. So I was like, oh, Twigs and Tay. Like, I don't know, like the branding person in me was like, ooh, like I like that name. It's different. It's like something no one's really like seen before. So I was like, why don't I call it that? So that's kind of how it happened, really.
I like that. Now, what's the story about you getting into thrifting? Like, I know that it wasn't always like that. So what made the switch, and what's the story behind that?
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's like growing up, like in high school, middle school, I wouldn't be caught dead in a thrift store. Like I was that wasn't my mindset. It wasn't, I was all about needing to look a certain way and to dress a certain way, and things needed to be high class. I was high maintenance. I'll just say that, because I felt like it was a protection blanket for me. I felt good. I was like, okay, I'm insecure on the inside, so let me put this on the outside. And I moved to Indiana, and I like met my family like home away from home there, and they just taught me so much about growth, and I just kind of was immersed in like a culture of people pursuing God, and it's something I had never experienced my whole life. And I was 20 at the time when I moved there. So it was crazy how God just started breaking me down and showing me, like, Taylor, this isn't who you are. Like the things you're using to cover yourself, he used so many people to like teach me these things. So it was crazy going through that. And I got to a point where I just was sad. I just went through this like dark sadness. Even though I was like with a bunch of people helping me pursue God, I was still feeling broken. I still felt like, okay, God, I don't feel like I have anything to offer. Don't feel like I have anything to say. Everybody else knows what they're doing in you, and you're working in them. And it just took me kind of that moment of like being like, my hands up, God, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. For God to really come in and say, okay, let's like, now that you're at the bare minimum and you feel like you're completely nothing, you're raw, you're just bare in front of me, I'm going to build you up. And he, like all my clothes, he told me to purge everything that I had. And this stuff I had forever, spent so much money on, gifts, everything. He was like, I want you to get rid of it. And I was so stubborn. I refused to get rid of half of it, to where literally some of my stuff got ruined in the rain. Like, this was all my stuff. Like, it was raining one day and all my stuff just got ruined on a porch. And I took it as God saying, give it away. You need to give it away. Whether you want to or not, you need to just give it away. So I gave it up and I started from scratch. And I think thrifting kind of really came of a place where God showed me there's no example of who to be or how to dress. It's like you go into a store, people are, there for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
And I think, going in, I had a blank slate where he really, could teach me who I was, showing me what things I really liked, the real Taylor, not the one that I tried to be, or took different ideas from other people. It was really how he saw me. So that's kind of how thrifting came.
I really liked what you said when we were talking the other day about in most fashion sense, usually we look back to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s for certain style trends, or, if I'm wearing something particular, oh, this is like a 90s look, like the 90s kid look, like, which I personally enjoy that look a lot,
Me too.
Yeah. But it's interesting is that you don't, at least while we're living in the 2000s, you don't really hear a lot of people say, oh, this is the look of the early 2000s, or like, this is the 2000s look, or like the 2010 look,
Yeah.
And what I love most about thrifting, in light of everything you just said, is that you were telling me yesterday too, it's the best way to find your own identity is because you're not looking to compare yourself to something else. You're completely, like you said, a blank slate, and then curating a look based upon whether God shows you something or something inspired you. I love that.
Because really, once I got to a point where God really just said, okay, you're learning yourself now, Taylor. Now you see it. Now you get how I see you. So you're starting to see yourself the way I see you. And now it's like, okay, I go into a store and I know, even if I do go into like a mainstream store, which I don't ever bash the bigger stores, I still go and I shop there, but I'm not gleaning to them for how I should dress, how I should look. So I think that's kind of what our like younger girls and our generation's kind of like looking to someone else, looking to different eras and time periods to say, okay, this is how I'm going to dress. I like that, which is fine. Yeah. But when you really learn yourself, you can kind of pick and choose, and it's you and it's not someone else.
Yeah. So what's your process? You walk into a thrift store. How do you pick stuff out and then piece it together with other things?
Really, I go in and I have like a color scheme for myself. My friend Trinity, she's like the mastermind in this. She taught me about like capsule wardrobes and like finding your color scheme for yourself. She's a branding like guru. So I go in and I just like look at the colors that I like, my color palette, and it's like things just highlight to me. So people are like, do you just go through every rack, or do you just look through everything? And sometimes I have days where I feel like, I'm just going to spend a good couple hours in here. But then I have other times where I'm just like, no, I'm going to just look for those colors that I like.
Yeah, I like that. Well, tell me, like, in your opinion, why do you feel like people have a hard time finding who they are?
I feel like we look back, I think the millennials, especially the younger generation, we're always looking back, like I said, wanting to look to another era. I feel like we're just so confused. We don't know who we are now. And I know it's just the enemy. I know it's what he wants us to feel like. He wants us not to know our identity and know who we are. I think that's the ultimate goal, is for God to teach you who you are and show you who you are in him. So I feel like it's like one of the ultimate like attacks of the enemy on our minds and on ourselves, to not know who we are. But I think, the way that the world has become, it's like we're all trying to be someone, so we're taking from other people because we don't know who we are. I think that's like the biggest struggle. And I know for me, like, it all just starts in that little seed of insecurity where you start, okay, that person knows who they are, so I'm going to take this and take this little piece and make it Taylor. But really, it's not. And I think just ultimately, finding your identity in Christ, that's the main thing, the main goal.
And what have you found to be the solution to that? Like, how do you fight that personally in your own life?
For me, it's really like taking time in prayer and being in the uncomfortable. I think for so long I fled being uncomfortable. I lived my life, even though I was insecure and even though I was down, I think I was more comfortable in that pain than the real pain of God purging it out of me. It's so crazy how we're like, okay, God, I want it gone, but we don't want to sacrifice the time and the pain to let him take that from you. So I think for me, it was really like surrendering and saying, okay, God, like I'm going to cry. I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to let you make me, like, I'm going to feel like I don't know who I am, but really it's him shaping me and showing me this is the Taylor I made. Like, this is the one I chose. I chose this Taylor. So I think taking the time to be in the uncomfortable and really taking time with God to be alone with him so you're not influenced by the outside.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, that's good. I would say for myself as well, the way that I handle it and deal with it is similar to you. I spend time with God and I just get alone with God and I ask those questions like, God, like, why did I respond like this? Or why does this make me feel so insecure?
Yeah.
And really getting to the root of it. But then once I have an understanding of what it is, like dealing with it. So not avoiding situations where I don't feel like that, but letting myself be in situations where I can feel it again. But then I tell myself, no, you're secure in the Lord, you know, like it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's the practice of, like you said, making yourself uncomfortable so that you can grow out of the insecurities that you're feeling in and out every day.
I love that. Not running from it.
Yeah. So talk to us about the giveaway. This is the first time I've ever done a giveaway on Millennials in Ministry. I'm really excited about it. So tell us, what is it? How do people enter? And like all the cool things about it. So tell us.
Okay, I'm so excited about it too. I've never done one before and I've never won one before. So I feel like this will be super cool. But the giveaway, whoever wins, I'll be talking with you and looking at your Instagram or just talking about your lifestyle, what you want to portray in your style. And I'll go out and personally take time and pray about it and find 5 items for you that are vintage, thrifted, something unique that no one else has right now, not something that's put in Forever 21 or H&M. It's something that's like designed and picked out for you. And I think for you to feel special in that way, that this was picked out for that specific person. But to enter, you just follow Erin and myself and then just comment 3 people you think would like to win the giveaway. It's that simple.
Yeah, and you've got a post that explains it, and I've got a post that explains it, so either one of those will do it just fine. And how are you selecting the winner, actually? Because I've always wondered, like, do people write the usernames on, like, paper and then pull it out of a hat?
I was like, okay, I think we'll just write the names and pull them out of the hat then.
I know, I'm like, how does that work? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And then Wednesday is the day we announce the winner, right?
Yes, Wednesday.
Okay. Awesome. So if you're watching this replay, make sure you enter to win. You still got time to enter. I think it's going to be really cool. I honestly wish I could win, but I think whoever the winner is going to be really excited to receive something from Twigs and Tay. So Taylor, if people want to just follow you and stay in touch with you and your journey and learn a bit more about you and Twigs and Tay, what's the best way for them to stay in touch with you?
I think now Instagram, I would love to get DMs just to talk and connect with people. I just love like hearing people's stories and their journey. Right now, I'm still figuring out, you know, how God's going to let me do everything that I'm doing. So follow me in my process there. I'm hoping to start a blog soon. It's in process. So
you will start a blog soon.
Thank you.
Mark my words. It's going to be great.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So we'll see.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Taylor. You did a great job.
Oh my God.
Don't need to be nervous.
Pull out the best of people. Thank you, Erin.
I try. I appreciate your time. It was great to chat with you, and I look forward to who you pick as the winner. And we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see. I'm excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.